I was installing wood trim around the windows in the front of our house, and I noticed two of the rocks on the ledge had broken free and needed to be set back in place before continuing the wood trim. I broke my arm a couple months ago and it's still not 100% back to normal, so I called in my buddy Luke to help me remove the rocks from the ledge. Next, I grabbed a leaf blower and cleaned off the leftover debris. Prepping this area before adding mortar is a very important step because you want the rock to sit flush on the ledge, allowing direct contact to be made with the mortar and the rock. Although it may not seem like much, small rocks and mortar bits can make leveling and seating your rock a lot harder than it needs to be. So prep and clean the area as much as you can before setting each rock in place. I'm using the Home Depot Type S mortar mix to be the glue that holds these rocks in place. I had around a quarter of a bag left over from another project I used to repair the door threshold in my garage. If you're interested in that video, the link will be in the description below. An important tip when mixing mortar is to start out with less water than you think you need before adding in the dry mix. Remember, you can't run out of water, but you can run out of cement, so just add water as you go. The trowel I'm using for this project is a bit too large for what I'm trying to do. I would actually recommend a smaller 7-inch trowel for this project, only because it will help work the mortar into small cracks and crevices more than using my larger 10-inch trowel. Now make a nice thick and flat base of mortar mix on the ledge and set on your rock. And on this step, make sure to apply enough mortar before setting your rock that it starts to push through the top and bottom cracks. After double checking the placement of the rock on the ledge, now it's time to tackle rock number 2. I've noticed a slightly wet base helps the mortar adhere better to the existing ledge. So I punched a hole in an old water bottle I had lying around and lightly sprayed the area before adding the mortar. This home was built back in the 70s and the outside hadn't been changed since I bought it back in 2019. Everything on the outside is original, and honestly, I'm quite surprised that these 2 rock ledges are the only 2 that needed to be reset. Other than that, the structure of the house is in great shape. If you notice the rock below the ledge is halfway painted, my wife is tackling that project. We wanted to spruce up the outside a bit and make the exterior more uniform in color, so she went with a light beige and we're excited to see how it's turning out. If you're interested in seeing how we prep and paint the rock, comment below and we'll put out a video showing the before and after. After spreading the mortar over the ledge, it was time to set the second stone. Again, swift back and forth movements will help the stone settle in place while creating a tight bond with the mortar. Now that the 2 stones are set, I went back to each gap at the end and took the leftover mortar and filled in the gaps and cracks. The key to this is to start small and keep building it between the area of the 2 stones. Because the rocks overhang the wall about 2 inches, I needed to slowly add mortar to the gap or it would all fall onto the ground. I started at one end and worked my way to the other side. With each pass, I added more mortar until I was satisfied with the result. A good repair, especially resetting the rocks back in place, is one that blends in with the existing rocks. People can do repair DIYs for functionality, but the true goal is to do such a good repair job that your customer, or in my case my wife, can't tell what I did at the end of the day. Something that I've noticed is how important a change of scenery makes while renovating our house. The weather in Maryland has been a cold and dismal winter, which makes it hard to work on projects outside. But now that the weather is starting to break, we've had temperatures rise up to the 70s for a couple of days, making working outside enjoyable. Working inside is fun for a time, but for myself, working in the same area each day can be a bit draining, especially when you can't tell the progress being made. Since starting this project outside and working on the exterior siding and rock, it's helped boost my motivation and creativity on these projects. The overall tip is if you feel yourself stalling or losing motivation, changing scenery outside to inside or vice versa on projects helps keep the creative juices flowing and not stalling progress. And that's it, just finished wiping off excess mortar with a sponge and we're all complete. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on all social media platforms to stay updated on the next video. Thanks for watching.